Hey everybody, Mr. Odom here, and I just wanted to say yes, thank you. I am so glad that you made it to Monday to watch this video. Today I'm going to cover section 8.2, the perimeters of composite figures. So things that you'll need, as usual, you will need a pencil, you will need a composition book or note paper, and a calculator. So if you have all those things, you'll be good to go. For today, the learning target for this lesson is by the end of it, hopefully you'll be able to say, I can find the perimeters of composite figures. Hopefully at the end of it, you're not, let's see, you're not feeling maybe like, I don't know, I have some sounds over here. Maybe you don't, hopefully you won't feel like doing that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the lesson. So I figured to first we would actually do a review. So in section 8.1, we actually looked at circles. And so I want to see if we remember all the different parts of a circle. And so we'll start up here with this part right here. Let's see. So let me get my pen. So what is this? You can pause and go check your notes if you want. We'll wait for you. Okay, so what is this arrow pointing to? What is this? Looks like it's this round figure. Yes, it is called a circle. Okay, number two. What is this point right here? That's correct. This is called the center of the circle. And remember, the circle, the definition of a circle is a set of points that's the same distance from a point called the center. Okay? And then the center has a similar definition. The center is a point that is the same distance from every point on the circle. All right, what about this red line right here? What do we call this? Oh, this is number 3. Yes, that is called the radius. And then finally, this green line that goes from one side of the circle through the center to the other side of the circle. What is that called? Okay, that is called the diameter. All right, so yeah, give yourselves a hand with the review. That's pretty good. I'm very impressed. Very impressed. So now the next part of this is there were some formulas that we had for circles. One of them was if I have the diameter, someone gives me the diameter of the circle, I should be able to find the radius. Okay? And basically the radius is what? It is the diameter divided by 2. So that was one of the formulas we learned. Another one was, well, what if I give you the radius and I ask you to find the diameter? Okay, and that formula was a diameter equals what? Very good. 2 times the radius. And then we had our formulas for circumference. So circumference, let me scoot this up a little bit. Circumference, remember, is the distance that we travel if we were walking around our circle and we started at one point and we ended at one point. It's that distance around the circle. So we had 2 formulas for circumference. Circumference, if I give you the radius, you should be able to find the circumference. You take 2 times pi times the radius, or if I give you the diameter, or you have the diameter, you just take pi and you multiply that by the diameter. Remember, for pi, for this chapter, we're just going to use 3.14. Okay, so that was the second part of our review. All right, let's get to section 8.2, Perimeters of Composite Figures. So in order to find perimeters of composite figures, we need to know what is a composite figure. Okay, so a composite figure is made up of different shapes. Okay, it's made up of triangles, squares, rectangles, semicircles, and any other two-dimensional figures that you can think of. Okay, here's a couple examples for you right here. This is a composite figure, and you can see that it's made up of a square and a triangle. This composite figure is made up of a semicircle and a rectangle. All right. And I think it's on the notes as well. Can you draw a composite figure? Let's see if we can draw one. I'm going to try to draw one freehand here. So, don't get too excited because it's probably not going to look that good. All right. So let me draw a composite figure. First, let me draw one of these things. It looks supposedly like a rectangle. Not too bad. Okay. And let me put one of these things, which we learned about already. This is called a parallelogram, or maybe if the sides are the same length, that could be a rhombus. Let's see, let me put a triangle down here. All right, and let me put maybe a semicircle on here. And let me try one more. Let's say one more figure that we've learned about previously, a trapezoid. Okay, so here's my composite figure. It's this whole thing, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different figures. And if I want to find the perimeter of this composite figure, then I need to figure out how far is it to go around this figure. Okay, find the distance around. So I would have to travel this distance, that distance, that distance, here, up to here, around here, back down here, and over here. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing in this section. We have to find the perimeter. Okay, so what would be the perimeter of this? Well, I would need to know some information like how long is this? How long is this side? 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 And so on around the figure. And I would just add those together. Okay, that's one way we can do this. Let's look at some examples. Okay, again, remember, to find the perimeter of a composite figure, find the distance around the circle. Okay, so in your textbook and on your test, you're going to see some problems like this. And we can actually, on graph paper, it's a little easier to do because all we have to do is count the sides, right? So let me count the horizontal surfaces. And how do I do it? Well, I just count each side here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's also 7 down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So far I've got 14 units of distance. And now I need to calculate, well, how long is this distance from here to here? So in the textbook, it tells you, and on your notes, in one of these squares, if we go from one corner down to the opposite corner, so this is the diagonal, this distance, we're going to use an approximation. we're going to say that this is 1.5 units. When you get to 8th grade math, you will actually learn the exact distance that this is, but for our work, we're just going to approximate using 1.5 units. So notice how many, now I just need to count these diagonals. Let me use a different color. So the diagonals, I have this diagonal, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 12 of the diagonal units. So what I need to do is take each one of those 12 units and multiply them by 1.5. Okay, and when I do that, what do I get? So, and this is also units. So 14 units plus 12 units times 1.5 units, and that gives me an answer of approximately 32 units. So this would be my perimeter. Okay, so the perimeter, basically when we have a graph, we want to count. Notice I'm on the outside. I'm not calculating the area. I don't care about how much space is in here. I want to know if I start on one point, how long does it take me to get all the way back around to where I started? All right, let's look at another one. All right, so let's estimate the perimeter of this figure. Okay, so let me start with my horizontal and vertical surfaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 5 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's some more. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 down here. There are 5 here. There are 1, 2, 3 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 here. So I need to add those numbers together. So my perimeter will be 5 plus 3 plus 8 plus 10. Now I also have to count the diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 of these diagonal marks. So I need to add 5 times 1.5. All right, and let's see what do we get. So this should equal 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 10, that's 26, plus 5 times 1.5 is 7.5. And you can add that together and you get 33.5 units. Notice there's no units here. There's if I don't see centimeters or meters or anything like that, then I will write in the word units. Okay, so here's my perimeter for this figure. Okay, so you'll have a couple of those in your online assignment. All right, so there, I was missing a problem. So now let's try to find the perimeter of this figure. And so what shapes do I have? I have this semicircle. So I need to find how far is it from there to there. Okay. And then I also need to find out how far is it from here up to there. Okay, so for the blue, that's pretty easy. That's just 24 plus 10. And that equals 34 centimeters. Okay, that is just for the blue. Okay. What about for the green? Well, I know the circumference of a circle is pi times a diameter. And if I look at this and just imagine that this was a circle, then this distance right here, this would be my diameter. The diameter is 26. So I could calculate the circumference. What the circumference is the distance around an entire circle, but I want half of that. So what I need to do is divide the circumference by 2. Divide the circumference by 2. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So here's my formula that I'm going to use. The circumference divided by 2 equals 3.14 times 26 divided by 2. Okay? And I can cancel. That's 13. That's 1. So I have 3.14 times 13. So this, the circumference divided by 2, is 40.82 centimeters. All right. Now to find the perimeter of the composite figure, I just need to add this number to this number. Okay, 34 plus 40.82. And that equals 74.82, and my units are centimeters. Okay, so this is the perimeter of this figure, starting at one point, going around, following it, and then coming back.